We live in a world that is obsessed with results. Everyone wants to succeed. Everyone has things they aspire to do, to become, to achieve. And there's nothing wrong with ambition. But somewhere along the way, we've learned to worship outcomes and ignore the road that leads there. However, what most people do not realize is that the process is more important than the result itself. And I'll tell you why. I'd like you to cast your mind back to primary and secondary school. Most people hated and probably still hate mathematics. But one major lesson we all learn from mathematics is the importance of showing you're working. Remember those math questions where they write in brackets, show working. If the answer to the question is 5, it's not enough to simply write 5 on paper. The real question is, how did you arrive at your answer? If your process is faulty, even if somehow you found a way to get around to the right answer, either by guesswork or some stroke of magic, you would still fail. Why? Because beyond your answer, what matters more to the teacher is how you arrived at it. On the flip side, if you followed the right steps but made a small mistake and ended up with the wrong answer, you'd still get marks. Why? Because the process was sound, because you understood the method. Today, society has turned this principle upside down. We praise and recognize people solely based on what they've achieved. High grades, promotions, wealth, accolades, but no one is asking, how did you get there? It's very possible for someone to get straight A's, get promoted, or get through difficult hurdles by cutting corners, cheating the system, manipulating outcomes, or just doing the bare minimum in the right places. Meanwhile, another person may have worked with integrity, pushed through genuine efforts, learned deeply, and ended up perhaps with an average outcome. But guess who gets praised more? The one with this shinier label, even if the foundation is hollow. It becomes a case where the evidence is true, but the story is false. And in today's world where AI makes people appear intelligent, and where it's easy to curate deepfakes and portray what you are not, we are faced with an even greater menace. Here's the thing. When you reach a destination without passing through the necessary process, somehow, some way it haunts you. You may not see it immediately, but it always shows. Because every level demands its own set of preparation and refinement prerequisites. If you are meant to know A, B, C, and D before you get to E, and you skip all of that, it catches up eventually. Your foundation is porous, and when pressure hits, everything crumbles. Let's take weight loss for example. You can do surgery, take drugs, follow shortcuts, and drop weight quickly. But if you didn't build the habits, the consistency, and the lifestyle that supports a healthy body, you relapse. Why? Because you skipped the process. Same thing with wealth. If someone stumbles into money without building the mindsets, the discipline, the systems to manage and multiply it, in most cases, they lose it just as fast as they got it. And that's why champions aren't made on the pitch. What you see in public, the medals, the goals, the applause, is just evidence of everything that already happened in private, in training, in the grind, in the lonely moments when no one was watching. So what's the lesson? Don't try to rush or circumvent the process. I'll tell you one of my favorite quotes attributed to Warren Buffett. It says, no matter how skillful you are or the effort you put in, some things simply take time. You cannot produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. If you're meant to go through a season of refinement, of learning, of stretching, go through it. It might take longer than you hoped, it might be harder than you expected, but the value you gain in the process is priceless. Because if you've truly passed through the process, even if you lose the result, you can get it again. But if you somehow got the result without the process, you'll struggle to replicate it. You always feel out of place. Imposter syndrome creeps in, and rightly so, because deep down, you know you didn't earn it the right way. So this week, even if it's tempting to cut corners, don't. Show you're working. Build real skill. Build real strength. And build something that lasts. And when you arrive at your destination, you arrive as someone who truly belongs there. Not someone who's just lucky to have made it. There's someone on your timeline that needs to hear this message. Please share this with them. Until next time, keep being amazing. My name is Murphy Nnamdi Ochuba.